Hello.
Hey, Robin.
Hi.
I was just wondering real quick before I get talking,
Absolutely.
is it all right if you add Lydia to this as well? I think she said that she would be interested in joining us, so I thought that would be nice. Here, I'll put her email
Absolutely.
in the chat.
Sure.
Awesome, appreciate that.
Yeah, I always think it's good to share what's kind of updates and show each other working out there because I think that
Yeah.
definitely gets more people excited to be, part of things. And
Well, yeah, I was just kind of thinking I'd, hop on here, tell them who we are, and then what we got going on in the near future, and yeah, just give them the opportunity to help out if they're interested. Pretty straightforward.
absolutely. Good,
And
Lydia.
also, I figure I'll probably give my number if anybody wants to get in touch. I think that would probably be
That's so
easy enough
nice.
for me.
Yeah, whatever is easy for you, I'm like here to support.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, and Lydia. Okay, just sending this to her.
Awesome. Thanks. I'll let her know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like no like rush, or whatever, so
Awesome.
whatever your time. Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be probably good to start at 1. I assume she'll hop in here in a sec.
Okay,
And yeah, we got a
perfect.
lot of calling to do, as you might guess, later on in the day.
Yeah,
So
I totally get it.
I know you've experienced the surge of calling that we do here at. I heard my coworker said that he might have talked with. I said I'm having a meeting with Robin, and he went, "Oh, Robin, I think I talked with her
Oh,
yesterday."
really? Who was that?
Chris,
Oh, yeah,
was it?
Chris. Yeah.
You call it? I'm sorry about that. I hate to spam you with so many calls.
No, no. I've been signing up like crazy, for different things. And so I love to, get calls.
I mean, yeah, Chris, he's a great guy. I like Chris. He's our coworker. It's just basically me, Lydia, and Chris. We're the three
Oh,
people
wow.
who do the phone banking.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I just learned the other day, actually, for the first time, the distributed team, which is me, Chris, and Lydia, we're the only ones who organize direct voter contact phone banks. I never knew, apparently. Other than that, we try to keep it to door knocking. Like, I always thought all the local teams did phone banks too, but apparently they don't, they only organize door knocking campaigns. We're the
Oh,
only ones who do direct voter contact phone banking. So
oh,
that
wow.
explains why we get some Wisconsin people sometimes, I guess. But
That's
so yeah,
so,
if people want to not talk to voters, we're the people to be with.
yes, definitely. I was just telling somebody who was asking me, they want to be really involved. And, she's like, oh, I've been like writing postcards or doing something. And I was just like, it's so important to be able to, to talk to voters. I'm like, because
Right.
not even like they're against, but I'm like, sometimes people just have questions,
Right.
like where
And
do
I
I
mean,
go and what do I do? And
conversation. Yeah,
yeah,
conversation too. I think
conversation.
it brings it, people, it's way more present, people can just kind
Yeah.
of ignore a postcard or a text or something, but
Yeah, but she
when
was
it's something
like
to do with
happy I
conversation.
told her, because I'm like, yeah, if you wanted, like if you can do more and you can talk to voters, I'm like, that's very effective. Very effective. Because sometimes with me, it's like, even though I'm, worked in these areas and I care and I'm paying attention, a lot of times for campaigns, even if I'm like supportive and like planning to get, it's like when someone asks me for help or, and just call or ask,
Right.
that moves me,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll sign up for it,
Well,
whatever.
I mean, there's so much out here for you to do, it is really like, there's a, what's the word, birth of opportunities, it's really about who can get in touch with you and actually get you
Mhm.
on board. Oh, here's Lydia.
Hello. Sorry, one second. Sorry, one moment. Hello. Hey. All right. Hi, Lydia.
Hi, good
How's
to
it
see you.
going?
Going well. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. I love the speech last night, so I'm like ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm glad
that
everyone
was
else is ready to go.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes. Yes. So I
how
was
was the watch
talking,
party? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean.
oh
I
no,
just
go
meant to
ahead.
ask Lydia how the watch party was. I know you went to a fun one in Madison here.
Yeah, it
Oh,
went well.
Awesome.
Um, mhm. On like one of the pillars they were showing like briefly a couple times showing the like live streams from watch parties. So Madison was in there.
oh,
Was
Um,
that you guys? Was that the brass ring? Okay, cool. I looked in the crowd to see you, but I didn't see you.
it was kind of a narrow shot, so
Yeah.
I was just at the back.
Oh,
But we were cheering for a while. It's a fun
fun.
time.
nice. Very good. So what I was gonna do is I'll, kind of introduce you all and wait, tell me your titles again.
I'm what's the term actually? I'm just an organizer, you can say, I think is fair.
Mhm.
And Lydia?
I'm the distributed organizing director.
Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. And this is just a way to introduce you all and give an update, and then that'll help us with like the phone bank recruitment and things going
Definitely.
forward. Okay, cool. So what I will do is if everything works appropriately, I'm gonna share live stream this to the Facebook group. So it just takes me about 1 minute to what I'll do is I'll share it to my actual group, and then I will copy and paste, and then I will just share it out to like a bunch of groups at one time. So what I like to do, let me see, I'm just gonna um, let's see. Okay, so I'm just gonna play like 2 minutes of her speech while I share this out to all the groups, and
Mhm.
then we'll just hop in to it. So, okay, cool. So I'm gonna hit record. If it's not
And if you want help like
sure.
with Zoom, if you want to co-host like me or
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
let me do that.
Oh yeah, that's smart. Because how will it work with the links? Because we have a couple links that we want to share out. Are we able to, like, if we put them in the Zoom chat? I don't. Is that's not going to work, right? Because that's not gonna. They aren't going to be able to click on those. The people watching, are they?
Right, you could put them. Let me think real quick because it's like, if you want, actually, if you do you have them now?
Yeah, I can grab them quick.
Yeah, if you do that, yeah, if you just put them in the chat and then I can send them to myself. And then while maybe you all are talking or whatever link, then I'll put them in the chat from my phone.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a
I think
whole.
it's really only. Uh, is it three? It should be three, right? The weekend one, and then Tuesday and Thursday, right? Those are the three links that we got.
So we have like a link like hub that I can put in. I just sent it in the chat that like has listed all of our current like upcoming events. And then if we want to get a little more specific for like the weekend of action and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll put those in too.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we can just put the main one too, and I can just go into detail when I talk about what is on there, in terms of what they could sign up for. But yeah, I mean, we could put the specific links too. I
Well,
would
I
just be
think
about spamming them.
yeah, I think if honestly just having that main link and saying like, hey, when you click that link, you'll see,
Right.
a variety of links to sign up. Um,
And then explaining what those are, kind of
yeah,
sounds good.
cool.
And again, it's all, I mean, I don't want to forget any, all the real ones that there are, right? Is we have the weekend of actions, right? They'll be this week and then in September, and then the Tuesday, Thursday ones, right? Have we launched any new ones other than that?
We have Wednesday also.
Okay. I'll have to
And
remember that. Is that also 5 to 7?
Wednesday is 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
But
Okay.
mhm.
Good to know. I'll plug that one too. Is that DVC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And I'll hopefully this weekend, whatever with the links, I'll make an event like in various groups or whatever, and I know that it'll notify, and then that way that Wisconsin sign up people can see that and everything. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and send this to myself. Great. Let me just pull up.
The idea of having.
Okay, great. Oh shoot, sorry.
No problem.
DNC. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to just pull this up. And like I said, I'll just maybe let a minute or two of the speech play, and then that way people will hop on, and then we'll launch on in, and I'll introduce you all. So
Exciting.
go ahead and get started on that. Okay. All right, here we go. Does it show? Oh, did you all get the co-host? Tried to make you all just withdraw code. Oh,
Yeah,
somebody.
we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're cool.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, all right. So I'm gonna share now. Okay. Okay, perfect. So hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Robin with Team Stacey Abrams Grassroots. Thank you for so much coming. This is our Facebook Live. We're going to start off just for a minute or two. We're going to listen a little bit of Vice President Harris's convention speech and give people a chance to hop on. And then from there, we're going to hear an update on the ground about what's going on in Wisconsin. And I can't wait to introduce you to Miles and Lydia, who are part of Team Wisconsin. So let's just first take a little listen, a little bit from last night, and then give everybody a chance to join us. So again, thanks for coming.
Protect people like Wanda, because I believe everyone has a right to safety, to dignity, and to justice. As a prosecutor, when I had a case, I charged it not in the name of the victim, but in the name of the people. For a simple reason. In our system of justice, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us. And I would often explain this to console survivors of crime, to remind them no one should be made to fight alone. We are all in this together. And every day in the courtroom, I stood proudly before a judge and I said 5 words: Kamala Harris for the people. And to be clear, my entire career, I've only had one client, the people. And so, on behalf of the people, on behalf of every American, regardless of party, race, gender, or the language your grandmother speaks, on behalf of my mother and everyone who has ever set out on their own unlikely journey, on behalf of Americans like the people I grew up with, people who work hard, chase their dreams, and look out for one another, on behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth. I accept your nomination for the United States of America.
Well, that is so exciting. What a great time for us to chat. So welcome, everyone. So again, I'm Robin, the founder of Team Stacey Abrams grassroots Facebook group. We've been around for 4 years. We've organized online and in real life, and we've helped flip Georgia, win 2 Senate seats and 2 historical Senate seats. And we worked on voting rights together and all of these great things. And now here we are. I can't even believe we're literally back in another presidential election. But I'm grateful that we're not in quarantine. So hopefully things will be different and we'll still have success. But I wanted to just briefly introduce myself, and I want to introduce Miles. Miles is an organizer in Wisconsin, and Lydia is a distributed organizing director for Team Wisconsin. And I thought it would be great to bring them on, and they can give us a quick update about what's happening on the ground. And this is the perfect segue into our team, Yes We Can, our Battleground State team that we're launching, and we're going to be doing weekly calls into Georgia, and we also want to call into a Western state. And so Wisconsin, I'm from Illinois, but I have such fond memories of Madison, Wisconsin. My best friend went to grad school there years ago, and I was in law school at the time, so I would take the Van Gelder bus from downtown Chicago to downtown Madison, and she would come and we'd hang out with each other's friends. And Madison is such a great place, and really love Wisconsin. So I'm going to pass it over to Miles and Lydia, and they can tell you what's happening on the ground. Welcome.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Robin. We really appreciate you having us here and the great work that you do in Georgia. You know, it is a really important state as well, battleground state. Got a lot of close ties to Wisconsin politically in that way. So we really appreciate your help and your willingness to help us up here at Wisconsin. So I thought, first of all, I'd kind of just talk a little bit about, you know, who we are here in the Wisconsin Democratic Party and why I think Wisconsin is a really good state to volunteer in if you are interested in volunteering in it. So, you know, the Wisconsin Democratic Party in its modern form, I've only been here a year, right? So a lot of this history is kind of stuff that I've been told, not necessarily I experienced firsthand, but I've heard from the Obama era is really when it kind of got its real form as it is today. And what that is we are a very volunteer-oriented party. And I think that's the case for the Democratic Party all over the country, but especially in Wisconsin, we have, you know, 100 something paid employees, but we really rely on our volunteer crews. You know, we have thousands of volunteers on the ground, but also calling into the state of Wisconsin from outside of the state of Wisconsin. And that's me and Lydia. We're part of the distributed team. I'm a distributed organizer. She's distributed director. And we do phone banking from outside of the state of Wisconsin into Wisconsin, which is a really important job and also really fun. So we're lucky we get to do that. And yeah, I mean, Wisconsin is such a tight race. You know, I mean, we lost in 2016, unfortunately, and we won in 2020, which is great, but it was by a total of 3 votes per ward on average, which is just insanely close and very scary, but it's also very motivating for us to keep working on trying to increase that number for next time for Harris. So yeah, that's us here at Wisconsin, and I just thought I'd talk a little bit about then what we have available. So the main area that we will be able to help out with volunteering is with phone banking, which is what I mentioned. And that is in 2 main varieties. We have direct voter contact phone banks, and we also have volunteer recruitment phone banks. And these are on different days throughout the week, scheduled at regular times. And I'll just preface right away, the way that we have people sign up for these is through a site called Mobilize, which we will provide the links for here. And that will allow you to, if you click on that Mobilize link, it'll take you to a page where we have all of our offerings for out-of-state phone banking. And those include, I just thought I'd run down a couple opportunities here, just to let you guys know what we have going on, so that if anybody listening knows a specific time, they can just click that link and click the specific Mobilize link for whatever time they're interested in. So yeah, the main times that we have available are, well, this coming weekend, actually, August 24th and 25th, Saturday and Sunday, we have a weekend of action. If anybody wants to, jump in right away, that would be great. We're doing direct voter contact into Eau Claire again, I believe. Lydia, do you know where this weekend's weekend of action will be calling into?
We'll be calling into a variety of areas, starting in the WOW counties, moving over to kind of northwestern Wisconsin, and then maybe some Milwaukee too. So it's really an all around the state operation.
Cool. Yeah, so this is the link here. Thank you for sharing that, Robin. This will be how, if you are interested in signing up for us, you can see there the weekend of action phone banks. That's what I was talking about, where we will be having this weekend is a weekend of action, for instance. And the next weekend of action that we will have is September 14th and 15th, and that'll be 50 days exactly before the November election. So if you're interested in helping us out there, it's really easy. You just put your information in here, and we will send you an email to get in touch with you about how we do things. Yeah, other than that, we also have a Tuesday weekly phone bank from 5 to 7 p.m. Central Time, and that will be volunteer recruitment down at the bottom. There we go, weekly volunteer recruitment, if you're interested in that, and that's 5 to 7, like I said. Oh, and I should have mentioned, the weekend of actions, those will be full days, so you'll be able to choose a 2-hour shift at any point throughout the day for that weekend of action. Thank you for clicking around, Robin. Yeah, you can see there on the right, on Saturday, for instance, we have time slots that go from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Central Time. And you can choose whatever time works best for you, and you'll receive a Zoom link for that time where you can then click on it, and we give you a quick 15 to 20 minutes of training before you get calling with everybody else. So yeah, we have the weekend of action, the Tuesday volunteer recruitment phone banks, and then the other 2 options that we're offering at this point will be the Wednesday phone bank option, which is pretty newly released, and that'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. Also DVC, I believe. Is that right, Lydia? DVC? Yeah.
Yep.
So that'll be DVC. And then as well, we have a Thursday DVC, and DVC is direct voter contact. Sorry, I should specify. So that means we're calling voters. And at this point, I think we're still in the persuasion phase, moving into the get out the vote phase, but we'll still be asking questions about, what do you think about Kamala Harris? What do you think about Tammy Baldwin? Do you have any idea how you might be voting, down the ballot come November? Those kind of questions, as opposed to the volunteer recruitment, which is, you're asking people, are you willing to volunteer? And that's also different from when we will move into the get out the vote phase, I believe later in the election cycle. And that's a lot more just, trying to get people, do you know where you're registered to vote? Do you know how? Do you know where you're going to vote? That kind of thing, a little bit more logistically oriented. Yeah, and then the only other thing I had for us today as far as opportunities is if there's anybody watching here who is interested in taking a trip up to Wisconsin, we do have opportunities for people who want to do on the ground canvassing. In the form of a Google form, which we can share out, and that will allow people to, enter in where into Wisconsin you're going to be and when, and then that will allow the local party and wherever you're interested in to get in touch with you about the opportunities they have as far as canvassing in the local area. Yeah, I think that's what I had as far as opportunities from us, and thanks again for having us. We really appreciate it. Is there anything else you think, Lydia, that we would be good to include?
No, I think that sounds great. Yeah, thanks, Miles. Thanks all for joining.
Yeah.
Just to echo a lot of what Miles said, we are, what is it now, 74 days out, and really trying to do all the work we can. So any help is greatly appreciated in Wisconsin. It's always so close. We won by 20,000 votes in 2020, which is really nothing. So yeah, 3 votes per ward. So yeah, we've got a lot of opportunities and hope to see y'all.
Oh, I meant to say too, I'll put my number available here. So if anybody wants to get in touch with me about, phone banking or canvassing or any kind of opportunities that they're interested in, I can put my number and email in the live stream chat. I'll have Robin post that so that you can get in touch with me.
That is fabulous. Can you tell us about WOW again?
Oh yeah, that's actually Lydia, you're probably better handled for that.
Oh, wait,
you're
hold on.
Sorry, that's Waukesha, Ozaki, and oh no, the last county. I'm losing it. Washington, Walworth, Washington. There's a lot of W counties in Wisconsin. But yeah, so that is kind of the outer suburbs areas of Milwaukee. So often kind of an area that we have seen turn more blue. Historically, it's been more purple, skewing red. In 2016, we lost the WOW counties. In 2020, we made some headway. So we're really trying to, in these calls, talk to areas where we have the ability to move the needle. And so the wow counties is what we call them, but those are one of the really important spots for us.
I love that. And then just to highlight again, so with direct voter contact, you're focusing on a little persuasion and just seeing how people feel about the ticket and the Senate race of Tammy Baldwin. And okay, because I know sometimes people, when they're starting a phone bank, you know, they may or may not know that there's different phases. So to me, this is such an important phase, persuasion, because you never know who you can get over, you know, onto your side. And a lot of times, you know, you hear things like, oh, this demographic or this group, you know, and you just assume, you know, a lot of times. But when there's these historic candidacies and things that have just never been done before, you just never know who you can turn up to vote, who you can persuade. And then definitely after the conventions and before the debate, or even just kind of after those fall debates, persuasion is so important. And then and even still, like, you can, I've just seen how, like, you know, when you're phone banking, a person can move from a supporter to a super volunteer, you know, or they can move from being on the fence to now being persuaded and voting and maybe even volunteering. So these calls are so important, and that's why, you know, I wanted to bring you all on and for people to hear directly from you than just, you know, because I'm always talking about like phone bank and knock doors, but it's good to hear from people who are on the ground.
And I'll actually add that I think that's a really important point about the persuasion phase, which is it's not, you know, I think people hear the word persuasion and it might cause a little anxiety, and that, you know, they think it maybe means like arguing, and that's definitely not our goal. You know, we're really trying to have conversations more so is the way we put it. So like you said, I think the two main people that we target in our persuasion phase is either people who are Democratic voters, but, you know, for whatever reason, they just aren't, you know, enthusiastic, or they maybe aren't as likely to get out and vote. And so those people, we really want to hammer home, you know, why Harris is so great for a Democratic voter like themselves. And the other group would be people who are independents, or maybe even, you know, light Republicans, kind of like on the fence there, like you were saying, and we might provide, you know, we got in touch with them. The Democratic Party talked to them. You know, I think that's important to a lot of people. And we don't expect people to, you know, duke it out with a hardcore Trumper on the phones. You know, it's not like we're asking you to change anyone's minds. It's really more just kind of have open and honest conversations. So
Sometimes people just have to be asked, you know, it
right.
really, and like you said, and just even reaching out, sometimes that's all it takes. And then people are like, okay, I'll do it, or, you know, so yay. Okay. And let's see. So maybe, you know, at some point, or if you have any updates that you ever want us to, you know, get out there, please let, you know, us know. Otherwise, you know, maybe you can come back again at some point. But we're really excited. We've been recruiting people the last couple of weeks as everything was getting figured out with the ticket and the VP and all that stuff. And so it's so exciting that we have an official ticket now, and we've done our convention, and, you know, everyone's excited, and now we can just channel in and stay focused and get this work done, and, you know, put America on that new path that VP Harris was talking about.
Amen. We're in the home stretch. It's going to be a sprint to the finish line here.
I know, right? Lydia, do you have anything? Okay.
Oh, I was just nodding and saying, yeah, we are, you know, I think, one thing I think of a lot is you don't want to wake up on November 6th and think, what, you know, could I have done, that I didn't do. So now is really the time to like take action and do what we can to make sure that we get there and we win.
And even just one shift, you know, start small, just do one shift and see how you like it. You know, you can just be for an hour or two and just kind of feel things out. And yeah, just getting that foot in the door is so important, and just doing whatever you're able to. So yeah, we really appreciate that.
Yes, I know for me, like once, it's like every campaign cycle, you know, it's like the lead up to just the first call, you know, just to do it. And then it's like once it's done, I'm like, all right, let's give me some more.
Right.
Because it's great when you can talk to, you know, really talk to someone, you know, and everything. And I love talking and knocking and just hearing what people say from around the country. So wonderful. Well, thank you. I won't hold you all up because I know you got to go make phone calls. I'll be making calls tomorrow for part of the week of action. Chris and was another volunteer I spoke with earlier who called. So I'm going to do the next 2 Saturdays minimum, or, you know, at least I'm going to do the next 2 Saturdays. So I'm excited to call tomorrow and be a part of all of this.
Exciting. All right. Thanks a ton, Robin. We really appreciate it.
So
And
much.
we look forward to doing a bunch of great work in Wisconsin and in Georgia. We're going to win them both.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we can.
Awesome.
I love that.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, bye,
Thank you so
Miles.
much.
Bye, Lydia. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yay. I love organizers as an organizer. It's such fulfilling work because I just love being able to connect with people and empower them to change their communities and to be able to get the people that they want in office because the people have the power. But it's just, we always think that we don't, or it's going to be somebody else, but it really is us. So I'm just going to do a brief, let's see, catch up here for those of you who are not able to make the meeting on Wednesday. So first off, okay, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, so first of all, the Team Stacey Abrams Grassroots Facebook group. This is a group I founded in 2019. David Thompson, my day one, shout out to David on South Georgia. The two of us have, as well as other volunteers, but David and I, we met in the digital space. We both supported President Biden in the primaries pretty early on, even before the first primary. And so David was down and we created this group, and the group went from me to me and David, and then it has grown into at least 25,000 members. And the majority of the members are in Georgia and based in Georgia, according to the Facebook demographics that they give us. And so that's really unique to have a group like that. And our group, we organized throughout the quarantine pandemic time in 2020. And we helped with flipping the states. I was also asked by the Biden campaign to come up with the border state program. And so we had a border state program between Georgia and South Carolina for the primaries, which was very successful. And yeah, we just continued to organize in the digital space. We made connections with other Facebook groups, and we've just been in contact ever since. We've done stuff on voting rights. Of course, the two runoffs, especially in Georgia for the Senate seats for Warnock and Ossoff. We worked really hard on that. And so here we are now. We're here 4 years later. It's crazy to me that we're in another presidential campaign. It seemed like it just was yesterday, honestly, or at least I'm just still recovering from that time. But if you haven't already, please join it, Team Stacey Abrams Grassroots. And it's just a lot of organizers and people and who've come together in that group. So what we're doing now as a Facebook group, I don't know if we did this before, but we're having weekly organizing calls on Wednesday for our Facebook group. And so that'll be, if you go to the events tab in the Facebook group, once you join, if you haven't joined already, we have an event, we'll have all of our events scheduled there. So this is just going to be a standing time on Wednesdays where people from our Facebook group and anybody else, we can come together, find out any updates from the ground, participate in some phone banking into Georgia and Wisconsin. And then we might be recruiting more for voter protection, out-of-state volunteers to go knock in the battlegrounds, text banks. So we'll be able to give updates on that. And then it's just a place where you guys can connect and fellowship outside of the comments section of the group. And some people, they like to stay in the digital space, and some people, they like to connect in real life as well. So that's why we're offering this. So this will be every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, every Wednesday between now and the election. We'll have these organizing calls. So pretty much I'll ask you to register for the call if you want to be on the Zoom. The registration link is right here. I'll also, it's also in the pinned posts in the Team Stacey Abrams group. So you can register for the Zoom, and then I'll eventually start putting the Zooms in the Facebook group. So if you can't attend it in person, you can then watch it later. So there is that. Yes, we can. Team Battleground. So this is the Team Stacy grassroots Facebook group, Team Battleground, Yes We Can. This is the group that I'm talking about that we're going to crush it when it comes to voting, yes, but crush it when it comes to phone banking into the battlegrounds. So we are kicking off this, launching this, Yes We Can, Team Battleground, next week. And you'll be getting more information on that. And so if you want to be part of Team Battleground, Yes We Can, please go down here to this registration link. And just fill out the info so we know how to best plug you in, what you want to do, how we can get you connected to the right people, and you'll have support, within the group. So make sure to register. We'll be talking more about this later, but we literally have 74 days. I think it's 11 weeks. And this is our opportunity. It's one shebang on election day. And that's going to decide the course of our country and our history, democracy. And we have this incredible candidate and this incredible opportunity. So we just have to, again, get organized, know what we're doing, and get with the right people and connections and make it do what it do and get it done. So that is Team Cam. Yes, we can. Team Battleground. More information later. And this is my favorite quote I always like to throw in. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead, anthropologist. So our little team Battleground, Yes We Can, we're going to be a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens. And as Miles and Lydia just shared with us from Wisconsin with their ground report, is that these races are always tight. Hillary Clinton lost to Trump in 2016, 79,000 votes across electoral college across 3 states. 2020, Biden beat Trump by about 49,000 votes in the electoral college. I don't know how many states it was across. These races are tight. And as Miles mentioned, in Wisconsin, the amount that they lost by in 2016 amounted to 3 votes per ward. Now, I don't know how many wards they have, in Wisconsin, but again, small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. If we can phone bank and our phone bank is added into the rest of the wave of phone banking, you do not know how many people that you can touch and persuade or impact. And all of those votes matter when it comes to the Electoral College. So please never doubt what you're able to give and do in this whole thing. You can have a lot of power and a lot of impact, and it doesn't take, we don't need every Democrat and every American, and everything to do some of this work. Small group of thoughtful, committed citizens. So I always like to remind people of that. And then it kind of reminds me when Barack Obama, another organizer and organizer at heart, it's block by block, conversation by conversation. It seems tedious. It seems like it doesn't matter much, but that is absolutely how you're able to connect with voters and ensure that you have them support you and help to mobilize the vote. So that brings me to the GOTV phone bank. So right now, we're still figuring out all the logistics, but we'll definitely be calling into Georgia. We'll definitely be calling into Wisconsin. And there are some asks for support for Florida, especially when it comes to voter protection. So we are recruiting some people to help with Florida. And we also have a great connection with Broward County, Florida. I used to live in Broward County years ago. I organized for Barack Obama as a staffer on the Obama campaign in Broward County, Florida in 2008. And we flipped the state, that was another flip. Great team down there, the volunteers, everybody, and they are still fighting in Florida. 14, 15, 16 years later, still doing the work. And so we are plugged in to Broward County. I used to be the regional director down there for Obama's Organizing for America. After he was elected, we worked on healthcare and mobilizing, preparing people for the next phase for his administration. And so Broward, I have a lot of love for them. They have a lot of Democrats down there, and we have a fabulous connection with a woman named Amber Vaughn. She is such a hard worker, people person. She is just doing incredible work in Broward County. And so she also has an organizing call on Thursdays for those of you interested in Florida or Broward County or South Florida. You can join Amber on Thursdays. I'm going to put all of these events in the events tab this weekend if they're not there already, but you can also check the pin post of the Team Stacy group. If you're watching from another group, I'll see what I can do to go in there and get you all the information in the chat, in the comments, I mean, later on. But we will be phone banking, and we're going to do it either on Wednesdays, or we might find another time, but keep an eye out for the events. And then what else here? Oh, so ignore the date, but on Sundays, I'm going to have opening up a Facebook Live again for the group, where we'll do a political roundup of the week's political headlines and do a live analysis. And Lynn Halliburton, she's fabulous. She is a policy fellow and political strategist from upstate New York, works at the Capitol and works with various legislatures, and she's doing a lot of fantastic work, also a grad student. And she is going to join us on Sundays. We're going to just talk about some of the headlines and, different things that, caught our eye during the week. And we'd love for you all to come up too. So if you're interested in sharing a story, or that you want us to cover or look into or highlight, or if you want to come up and join us, then you can DM me. Feel free to DM me or tag me in the comments, and just let me know that you're interested, and we'll bring you up, because we like to hear from people and what they are thinking and seeing. And it's a lot of fun, because this is such a crazy we're dealing with such a crazy person in Trump. And then we've got this fabulous candidate with Vice President Harris, and the backing of President Biden. So it's such an exciting time, and I love to hear what people think. And there's so many crazy stories that are floating out there. Like today, Trump is tweeting, talking about Brian Kemp kissing the ring. I mean, that's quite new. But we'll talk about things like that on Sunday. So that's our political roundup. And then on Mondays, we're having Mental Health Mondays. I am an organizer, but then I'm also a yoga teacher and a yogini. And for me, the way I even ended up in yoga was through politics. So right after Obama 08, I went to the inauguration in DC, and then I came back, and then I dived into my first yoga teacher training. That was quite some time ago, and I've been teaching yoga ever since. But I went through this cycle where I used to kind of compartmentalize the two. Like I would have my yoga career and world, and then I would have my political and organizing, community building world. And I used to just be heavy into yoga, and then a campaign cycle would come around, and then I'd be all into the campaign, and I would forget about my yoga. And I kept doing this until I literally had a panic attack in 2010, when it was right around the healthcare legislation. And it was so ironic, because here I'm working on getting people healthcare in this country, and my mental health and healthcare was not good, because it was so stressful. It wasn't like just me, it was many organizers. This is before organizers were unionized or campaigns were unionized. This is before people cared about mental health or took it seriously, especially in the campaign in that world. It's changed now, so we our group charted that way, for that to be respected and considered now in the campaign world. But back then it was just like, save the world, get it done, all of this. And so yoga, meditation, movement, breath work, this is something so important to me. I've practiced yoga for over 25 years, but I've been a yoga teacher for over 15 years. I used to teach all around Georgia, Centers for Disease Control, etc. But Paths to Peace, that is my organization and business. We work with organizations, campaigns in terms of mental health education, trauma-informed care. I've worked with all the ASAF campaign, Fair Fight Action, Stacey Abrams Group, Stacey Abrams Campaign, Centers for Disease Control, Black Voters Matter. All of these different orgs have been my clients, or I've offered work with to them in the past. And so it really is helpful to create space in your body, your nervous system, and your mind, especially when you're doing this work. So that way you can think more clearly, be more creative, have more space for compassion and empathy and patience. And you need all of those things when you are out here talking to voters and doing the work to mobilize the vote. So free session on Monday, complimentary from me as an offering. And again, I'll put that all into the events, or you can go to pathspeace.com, but I'll definitely update the events. And then if you're in Team Stacy Grassroots, check the pin post and you have the sign up there. And I think that is it. All right, wonderful. So I haven't had a chance to look at the chat. I'm going to check out the chat real quick and just see if there's anything. That's funny. Just getting some funny text here talking about Trump crashing in key battleground states. I wonder if he got that message. That's why he's trying to contact Kemp this morning via Twitter or X or whatever. So let me see if I have anybody in the chat. I think we're good. Yeah, right now, I think we're good. I'm just gonna double check right here. But if not, I won't keep anyone any longer. Okay, cool. So if you have any questions, comments, you can find me in Team Stacey Abrams Grassroots Facebook group. You can DM me, you can tag me in a post, and I'm happy to answer. I'm trying to get my Kamala, sure. But I'm happy to answer any questions or point you in the right direction. It seems like things are getting more, organized and streamlined, especially since the convention. So it looks like everybody's ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. Let's get it done. 11 weeks, and we can put this man out, out of the political conversation, and we can focus on continuing to build upon the wins and the positive things that the Biden-Harris administration has been able to do, and then also chart that new path forward, like Vice President Harris was saying, in terms of the United States and this next chapter with Harris Walz. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much for listening, for stopping by. Again, my name is Robin Donaldson. Happy to be here for you all, and let's crush this. So thank you, Wisconsin. Thank you. And we'll be hearing from Georgia soon, as well as Florida. And I'm looking for a connect in North Carolina. So if you have one, please let us know, because these relationships, they are relationships. These elections and these races are going to be tight. So it's best for us to try to do our best to be in a position to win this early than, trying to scam around, later. But let's win this early, and let's get organized and put all the infrastructure and everything into place. So then as things get moving and shaking and we get closer and closer and closer, those battleground states that really need that extra push to win will emerge, and we'll already be organized and plugged in to be able to quickly push them over. So just 11 weeks, 74 days, and I will see you all on Sunday. Take care.